The psychology of a woman who hates men is rarely about the men she claims to despise. It is almost always about the projection of internal failure. In psychology, projection is a defense mechanism where a person attributes their own unacceptable feelings or failures onto someone else. For the misandrist, the hatred of men is often a cover for her own inability to secure, retain, or understand the type of man she actually desires. This is the sour grapes effect on a massive scale. When a woman repeatedly fails to attract high-value men, or when she is consistently rejected by the men she deems worthy, her ego takes a massive hit. To protect her ego from the painful truth that perhaps her choices, her behavior, or her value proposition are the problem, she flips the narrative. She decides that men are the problem. By labeling men as trash, toxic, or useless, she effectively insulates herself from the need to self-improve. If men are inherently broken, then her singleness or her failed relationships are not her fault. They are the inevitable result of a flawed gender. This hatred is a comforting lie. It allows her to maintain a sense of moral superiority while avoiding the brutal reality of the dating market, that she may not be competitive for the men she wants. The intensity of her hate is often directly proportional to the intensity of her disappointment. You will rarely find a woman who is happily married to a good man spewing hatred about the male gender. The hate comes from the void. It is the scream of a biological imperative that has been frustrated. She wants the protection, provision, and love of a strong man. But having failed to secure it, she demonizes the very thing she craves to reduce the cognitive dissonance. The second and perhaps deepest root of misandry is the father wound. A woman's relationship with her father is the template for her relationship with all men. If that first relationship was marked by abandonment, abuse, or weakness, the template is corrupted. She grows up viewing men through the lens of that primary trauma. If the father was abusive or tyrannical, she learns to view masculinity as a threat. Every man becomes a potential predator or oppressor. Her hatred is a preemptive strike, a way to push men away before they can hurt her. She conflates masculine strength with masculine violence, unable to distinguish between a protector and a predator. Conversely, if the father was weak, passive, or dominated by the mother, she learns to view men with contempt. She sees masculinity as something to be mocked, controlled, or dismissed. She hates men because she was never taught to respect them. She subconsciously seeks a man she can control, and when she succeeds, she despises him for his weakness. If she meets a strong man, she fights him because his authority triggers her unresolved rebellion against her father. This authority issue is central. The woman who hates men often hates the concept of structure and boundaries that healthy masculinity provides. She views any form of male leadership as an attempt to control her, triggering a fight-or-flight response. Her hate is actually a desperate attempt to maintain total control, because her childhood taught her that trusting a man leads to pain. We are dissecting the darkest corners of relationship psychology. If you want to understand these hidden drivers and protect yourself from toxic dynamics, then take a second right now to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join the Psyche Lens community for more intense, unfiltered truths about the human psyche. The third driver is ideological possession. In the modern world, hating men has become a socially validated currency. Universities, social media, and certain cultural narratives provide a ready-made framework that rewards women for expressing misandry. This is not personal trauma. This is groupthink. For a woman who feels lost, insecure, or lacking in identity, adopting the I hate men ideology provides an instant community. She gains access to a sisterhood bonded by shared grievance. In this echo chamber, every personal failure is reframed as political victimhood. Did he not text back? It's because of toxic masculinity. Did he not pay for dinner? It's patriarchal oppression. This ideological possession is dangerous because it removes personal agency. It teaches women that their unhappiness is structurally guaranteed by the existence of men. It creates a siege mentality, where she believes she is constantly under attack. This paranoia makes normal, healthy interaction with men impossible. She enters every interaction looking for evidence to confirm her bias, and because the human brain is an efficient filter, she finds it. The tragedy is that this ideology often traps young women who haven't even had significant bad experiences yet. They are infected by the bitterness of older, unhappy women. They adopt the armor of a war veteran before they have even stepped onto the battlefield. They ruin their own potential for happiness by adopting a worldview that defines their natural complement, men, as the enemy. This is a virus of the mind that destroys the possibility of love before it even begins. The final reason for the psychology of hate is that hate is safer than love. Loving a man requires vulnerability. It requires surrendering a degree of control. It requires admitting need. For the traumatized or insecure woman, these things are terrifying. Hate is a shield. As long as she hates men, she doesn't have to try to understand them. She doesn't have to open herself up to the possibility of rejection. She doesn't have to do the hard work of compromise. Hate keeps the walls up. It is a defense mechanism that ensures she never gets hurt again, but it also ensures she never experiences intimacy. This woman often engages in self-sabotage. If she meets a good man, she will subconsciously try to destroy the relationship. She will pick fights, create drama, or accuse him of things he hasn't done. Why? Because a good man threatens her worldview. If he is good, then her theory that all men are trash is wrong. If her theory is wrong, then her anger is unjustified. And if her anger is unjustified, she has to face her own pain. So she destroys the good man to prove herself right. When he finally leaves, exhausted by her abuse, she says, "See? I told you he would leave. Men are all the same." This confirms her bias and locks her back into the safety of her hate. It is a tragic self-fulfilling loop. Understanding this psychology is crucial for men. You cannot fix this woman. You cannot love her out of her hate. Her battle is not with you, it is with her father, her failures, and her own ego. The only winning move is to recognize the signs of deep-seated misandry, the contempt, the projection, the victimhood, and walk away before you become the latest prop in her tragedy.